Okay, so by designing the controller circuits, okay, this controller will take the feedback signal, okay, maybe speed or voltage or anyway, and these sensors will give the this sensor will give the signals to the controller circuits, and these controller circuits will generate the command to the power converter. These controller circuits, this controller circuit will generate commands for the power converter circuit. Clear? So here the power converter circuit is designed by using the power semiconductor devices. Here the power converter circuit is designed by the power semiconductor device. Maybe a diodes, maybe a thyristors, maybe MOSFETs, maybe IGBT. Okay, all these devices. Maybe two devices are using this converter, maybe three devices are using this converter, maybe four devices are using this converter, or six devices, and so on, etc. It is clear. So whenever these devices, means diodes or thyristors or MOSFETs, will be turn on and turn off at proper time, okay, will be turn on and turn off, okay, then the power will be controlled. The devices, when the devices will be turn on and turn off, the power will be controlled. So how the devices will be turn on and turn off, how the devices in the power converter circuit will be turn on turn off, based on the signals coming from the control circuit. Controller will decide the which device should be turn on, which device should be turn off. Okay, accordingly this controller is sends signal to the devices in the power converter circuits, and accordingly that devices will be turn on and turn off. When the devices will be turn on and turn off, okay, the power at the output side of the converter is controlled. The power at the output side of the converter is controlled. Okay, if this power is controlled, then automatically the speed is also controlled. The automatically the speed of the electrical motor is also controlled. When the electrical motor speed is controlled, then ultimately the vehicle speed is also controlled, maybe increase or maybe decrease. It is clear. Okay. This is the simple overview of the electrical vehicle block diagram. Okay, and what is the role of the battery here? Everybody knows the battery role kya hai idhar. It will store the energy. It will store the energy. Okay, it is look like a mobile. We are using the battery in the mobile, and we are using the one charger for charging the battery. Okay, like the same concept here also. Like the same concept here also, the battery, to store the energy we need a one extra charger. Clear? And it will supply the electrical energy to the electrical motor through the power converter, through the power converter. So see here, one more thing. So you, from this diagram, can we tell any one advantage of from this diagram? Can anyone tell one advantage of this block diagram? Anybody, please? By seeing this block diagram, what we can conclude? What we can conclude?
So no use of engine.
Oh, that is okay. No use of engine. Electrical vehicle is nothing but we इंजन यूज नहीं कर सकते हैं. तो इंजन यूज करने से तो कुछ एक मैकेनिकल इक्विपमेंट्स ये ऐड होता है, like gearbox systems, clutch plates, and so on, etc. Number of mechanical components will be should be used. But whenever we are removing the IC engine and we are using the electrical motor, then the number of mechanical components are going to be reduced. That is the very, very important point here. Okay, you should remember this point. Okay, whenever we are using the electrical motor and this motor is running with the help of battery, so the number of mechanical components are going to be reduced in the electrical vehicles. Whenever the number of components are going to reduce, though automatically the maintenance is also going to decrease. the maintenance is also going to reduce. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Are you agree with this point?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Means
Yes, sir.
okay, thank you. Means the one of the main advantage of the electrical vehicle is the number of components are going to be reduced. With this, the maintenance is also going to be reduced. Clear? So this is also block diagram. Just I have designed for simple understanding purpose. Okay, this diagram and this diagram same. Okay, that just I designed for you understand better understanding purpose. This is the charging station. Okay, this is the electrical motor, and this is the converter. Okay, from we are given the connection from the converter to electrical motor through the cables or wires. Okay, and this converter needs one controller circuit. This converters needs controller circuit for controlling the power. Okay, at the same time, we are giving the we are storing the energy in the battery. Okay, in the form of DC, and this DC, this power converter is sorry, this battery is giving the supply to the electrical motor through the through the converter. Clear? Through the converter. If you will give the direct supply to the motor, so the power will not be controlled, the speed is also not able to control. Okay. Okay, this is the simple overview of the block diagram of the electric vehicles. Now we will go for the why the electric vehicle. Why we need electric vehicles? Already we have discussed most of the points. Okay, reduce the fuel usage. Okay, nowadays the fuel shortage is very the fuel shortage is there. Okay, with the if the fuel shortage is there, okay, the crude oil is shortage is there, then automatically the price is increase. Automatically the price is increase. Okay, that's why we are moving toward the electric vehicles. That is the necessity of the electric vehicle. And at the same time, by using the IC engines, it needs petrol or diesel or fuels. Okay, with this the carbon dioxide, some chemical compounds are injected into the atmosphere. Okay, some chemical components are injected into the atmosphere like carbon dioxide. Due to this the pollution is increased. Due to this pollution is increased. Okay, in order to increase the greenhouse emissions, in order to increase the greenhouse emissions, we are going for the electric vehicles. Okay, we are going for the electric vehicles. No emissions are injected into the atmosphere. And this is the graph you're showing. Some research has been done. Okay, this is the red line indicates the demand of the fuel. This red line indicates the demand of the fuel, and this green line indicates the fuel availability. Fuel availability. Okay, in upcoming years, up to if the IC engine vehicles is increased. Okay, if IC engine vehicles are increased, okay, then after 2020 or up to 2030, the demand is very high but the supply is very less. Okay, if we encourage continuously like this for the IC vehicles, conventional vehicles, then the fuel availability is decreased. The fuel availability will be decreased and the demand will be increased. The fuel demand for the fuel is increased. Okay, due to this what will happening? So automatically the price of the fuel is increased. Already now we are paying the 110 rupees for per liter for petrol. It is clear? Isn't right or not? Is it right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now we are paying the 110 rupees. If the fuel demand is increased and shortages occurs, supply is less, then maybe we have to pay the 200 rupees per liter, 300 rupees per liter. It is clear. So that's why it is a very if it will happen, the situation will be tough. So we cannot imagine. Okay, the common people will be suffer very lot. So that's why we have to motivate the we have to develop the electrical vehicle, and we have to motivate the peoples in order to purchase the electric vehicles. Okay, and the government of India, all the countries' government also taken the initiatives to develop, to give the initiatives for the electric vehicles in order to increase the in the market. Clear? So this is the one of the reason we are going for the electric vehicles. And here also same way, please mute yourself. Ravi, please mute yourself. Ravi Aratikar. Ravi. Okay, the release of carbon dioxide also is increased. The release of carbon dioxide is also increased if we encourage the fuel vehicles in the market. Clear? So due to this, the atmosphere will be polluted. Okay, the pollution is increased. So for decreasing the pollution, so we are going for the electric vehicle concept. Okay, at the same time, the temperature is also increasing the atmosphere. Clear? Temperature change means this is the green line indicates the average value of the temperature, average changes in the temperature per year, and the red line indicates the average temperature change in for 5 years. Clear? So means the temperature is also increases in the if we increase the fuel vehicles. Clear? So in order to this point also, we need to motivate the electrical vehicles. Okay, and these are the various emissions from the IC engines such as CO2, volatile organic components, nitrogen oxides, particulate matters, carbon monoxide, and so on, etc. All these are the harmful for the environment. Okay, it will create the pollution. So in order to decrease all these, so we are going toward the electric vehicles. And one more thing, one of the main advantages. Okay, exactly how much will vary depending on the vehicle and electricity rates. Okay, on average, it will be less than 40 rupees. And on average, it will be less than the 40 rupees for all electrical cars on a scooter. Your overall energy will be lowered by driving them with the electricity. Means, for example, I have given the one car, Mahindra Varjo. This is the fuel vehicle. This is the fuel vehicle. Okay, and this vehicle is giving the 15 kilometers per liter average. The mileage of this vehicle is 15 kilometer per liter. Okay, approximately 1 liter petrol rate is 110 rupees. Okay, approximate nowadays 1 liter petrol rate is 110 rupees. So if you would like to travel for 60 kilometers, how much we have to pay? 15 into 4 liters. Sorry, 110 into 4 liters. Is it clear? 60 किलोमीटर ट्रैवल करने के लिए क्या है, कितना लीटर स्पेंड करना पड़ेगा, फ्यूल कंजम्पशन करना पड़ेगा 4 लीटर. Is it right or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay, 4 liters means 4 into 110 rupees. How much? Approximately
440.
Okay, means we have to pay the 440 rupees approximate for to travel the 60 kilometers. But in the case of this is the fuel vehicle. Okay, now compare the same company Mahindra ETO. This is the electrical car. Would need 10 units of full charge. एक बार full charge करने के लिए 10 units power consumption लगता है. Okay, 10 units power consumption लगता है for 100 kilometers. ओके एक बार फुल चार्ज किया है महिंद्रा ईटीओ तो वी कैन ट्रैवल द 100 किलोमीटर्स ओके तो पावर कंजम्पशन कितना है 10 यूनिट्स ओके if the 10 units 1 unit per unit rate is 4 rupees okay this is the tariff different from different states maybe Maharashtra having different charge per unit Karnataka is having different charge per unit that is depends upon the states okay so for example if you will take the average value 4 rupees per unit so 4 into 10 units 40 rupees is it clear so means we have to pay the 40 rupees we need to pay the 40 rupees for to travel 100 kilometers even if you develop the charging infrastructure वहां पे भी इन्वेस्ट करना पड़ेगा चार्जिंग इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर करने के लिए मे बी 1 रुपीज मे बी इंक्रीज पर यूनिट ठीक है चार्जिंग स्टेशन बनाना पड़ेगा ना क्योंकि पेट्रोल पंप में क्या होता है पेट्रोल रेट मिलता है फिर चार्ज यहाँ पे 1% 2% एक्स्ट्रा डालते हैं क्योंकि उनका भी इन्वेस्टमेंट करना पड़ता है पेट्रोल पंप इंस्टॉल करने का क्लियर सो लाइक दिस सेम वे चार्जिंग स्टेशन इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर बनाने के लिए कुछ इन्वेस्टमेंट करना पड़ता है मे बी 1 करोड़ 2 करोड़ वट एवर सो वो भी थोड़ा सा परसेंटेज इंक्रीज होता है इलेक्ट्रिकल टैरिफ 4 rupees per unit and 1 rupees may be increased okay for example 5 rupees 10 into 5 rupees how much 50 rupees means we have to pay the 40 to 50 rupees to travel the 100 kilometers so which one is the better electrical vehicle or fuel vehicle which one is the
Electrical
better
vehicle, sir.
yes this is the one of the
Electrical
main
vehicle.
this is the one of the main important point clear means we are going to save the money as well as we are going to decrease the environmental pollution we are going to decrease the environmental pollution it is clear okay this is the small example I have given okay okay next is the components of the electric vehicle components of the electric vehicle so already we have seen the what are the components of the electrical vehicles what are the parts of the electrical vehicle main components can anyone tell already we have discussed in block diagram battery as
Electric motor. Power converter.
yes exactly power converter electrical controller and electrical motor battery and charger these are the main parts of the electrical vehicle clear so here just I will give the brief description only and then we will see next lecture we will see the which type of motors we are going to use okay using the power from the traction battery pack this motor drive the vehicle wheels some vehicles use the motor generators that performs both the drive and regeneration functions means in some cases what we are going to use motor and generator set in some vehicles we are using the motor and generator set means with this what we can say the electrical car itself can generate the power and this power can be reused for charging the battery it is clear and the motor convert the electrical energy into the kinetic energy that moves the wheels so already we know the what is the function of the electrical motor it will convert the electrical energy into the mechanical energy okay and and the electrical motor shaft is mechanical coupled with the mechanical transmission system okay due to this when the electrical motor rotates then the vehicle is also moves toward the forward or reverse direction based on the direction of the motor clear means the function of the electrical motor is it will convert the electrical energy into the mechanical energy clear to drive the vehicle many passengers riding electric vehicles for the first time are surprised by the just how quiet and comfortable the ride feels means what is the meaning of this point uh, for example we are doing the journey in the fuel vehicles if suddenly brakes occurs सडन ब्रेक किए तो सडनली अपन मूव करेंगे ऐसे आगे जिसके अगर सडनली रेस किए तो सडनली अपन वी विल फील वी विल मूव बैकवर्ड और उससे ज्यादा पोल्यूशन भी है ओके आवाज ज्यादा करता है while changing the gear, first gear, second gear, third gear, fourth gear. Clear? आवाज भी ज्यादा change करता है. But whenever we are traveling the electrical car, so we will feel a different. The passenger will feel in different way because there is no noise pollution. It will start smoothly and it will stop vehicle very smoothly like a train. ट्रेन में कभी स्टार्ट होता है कभी ब्रेक होता है अपन को ज्यादा मालूम भी नहीं पड़ता ना. Is it clear or not?
Yes,
Is it
sir.
clear? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that will means whenever we are doing the journey in the electric vehicle, we will feel different. We will get the different feelings. Means we are not in the vehicle like that. We are getting the feelings. Okay, that is the one of the main advantages of the electric vehicle because noise pollution is not there and it will start smoothly and it will stop the very smoothly. And moreover, the electric vehicle's powertrain is smaller than the engine. Okay, thus providing the lots of additional space for efficient vehicle design like expanded cabin, space or storage. So this is the one more advantage of the electric vehicles. Okay, already I have told whenever we are going for the electric vehicles, so the number of components are going to decrease. Means we are getting the lot of space. We are getting the lot of space. Okay, in the vehicle designing. the next one. So generally the motors are used in the vehicle is generally कौन सा मोटर यूज करते हैं अपन जनरली वी आर यूजिंग द डीसी सीरीज मोटर ब्रशलेस डीसी मोटर permanent magnet synchronous motors, three-phase AC induction motors, and switch reluctance motors, and so on, etc. Mostly these motors are using the electric vehicle. Clear? In the case of bike, electrical bike, mostly we are giving prefer for the brushless DC motor. So this is depends upon the selection criteria. How much torque is required? How much luggage should carry the vehicle? Because uh, electrical car should carry the one weightage. Okay, electrical car is required one torque because only 4 to 5 passengers will travel, 4 to 5 persons. But in the case of truck, it should carry the heavy load. But in the case of truck, it should carry the heavy load. Is it right or not? ट्रक हेवी लोड कैरी करता है. क्लियर? तो वहां पे टॉर्क रिक्वायरमेंट ज्यादा है, मैकेनिकल टॉर्क रिक्वायरमेंट ज्यादा है उधर. इलेक्ट्रिकल कार का टॉर्क रिक्वायरमेंट कम है. बट इन द केस ऑफ बाइक only 2 passengers will travel and speed is increased. Speed is very high for the two-wheeler. So means what we can say based on the speed, speed, torque and power. Okay, and the load capacity. All these parameters we have to consider while designing the electrical vehicle. Okay, which motor we have to select and which motor can fulfill the requirement of the vehicle. Which motor can fulfill the requirement of the vehicle. For example, we require the 200 nanometers torque. The 200 nanometers and 3000 RPM speed required. 3000 RPM speed is required. Okay, so which motor can fulfill these requirements? Okay, how much power is required? So we have to take care of all these things while selecting the motor. Based on the application, based on the vehicle, we have to choose the motors. Which motor can fulfill the requirement? So accordingly, we have to select the motor, maybe DC series motor, brushless DC motor, permanent magnet synchronous motors, three-phase AC induction motors, switch reluctance motor, and so on, etc. Clear? Okay. And second one is the battery. Second one is the battery pack. The function of the battery in electric car is an essential to provide the electrical energy. Clear? It is clear, to provide the electrical energy for the electrical motors. Means the primary function of the battery is to store the electrical energy in the form of direct current electricity, DC. If it gets signal from the controller, the battery will flow DC electrical energy to the inverter, okay, to then be used to drive the motor. The type of battery is used is a rechargeable battery that is arranged in such a way as to perform the what is called as traction battery pack. Means what is the meaning of this point? If sometimes we doesn't require the power, for example, the vehicle is moving toward the from down up to down, that time the motor in no need to get the supply. Okay, the vehicle is automatically is moving toward the downward direction. So that time the controller will provide the some signals to the converter circuit. Accordingly, the battery can be recharged again. Okay, the battery can be recharged again by using some technology, regenerative braking technology. It is clear. There are various types of batteries. The most widely used in the type of lithium-ion batteries. Okay, NIMS batteries, nickel metal hydride batteries, lead acid batteries, ultra capacitors, recycling batteries, and so on, etc. Lithium-ion batteries, nickel NIMS batteries, lead acid batteries, ultra capacitors, and recycling batteries. Clear? Mostly these are the batteries we are using the electric vehicles. But from this, mostly we are giving the lithium-ion batteries. Nowadays, lithium-ion batteries are most popular. So we will see the operation later. Clear? Next, power electron converter. What is the function of power electronic converter?
To convert DC current
Convert
to AC
DC to
current.
AC.
Yes, exactly. It convert DC to AC or AC to DC. That is depends upon the requirement by the motor. Okay, what is requirement by the motor? Accordingly, the converter should provide the electrical energy to the motor from the battery. Clear? And like the same way, depends upon the position of the vehicle. Position of the vehicle is nothing but sometimes we need to increase the speed of the vehicle. Sometimes we need to decrease the speed of the vehicles. Clear? So that time we need to control the power also. So accordingly, the power converter will provide the power to the electrical motors, where the how much speed is required, where the how much speed decrease, how much speed is increased. So accordingly, the power will be increased and decreased. Means simply what we can say, the power should be controlled accordingly the position of the vehicle, as well as you should convert the AC to DC or DC to AC. It is clear. The power electronic converter plays the important role of taking the electrical energy from the power system and turning it into the suitable form needed by a motor. The power electronic converter may be determined according to the given power